Hey guys, sponsored by Arrowhead. Woo! Yeah, I wish. It's getting a little hot out there, and we're supposed to be in winter here in Southern California. Now here's American Pool Guy with a little public service announcement. Racism is morally unacceptable. Oh my gosh, what philosopher did you refer to for that little gem? No duh, racism is bad, and it's disgusting when one group of people hate another group of people simply because of the color of their skin or their nationality and no other reason. Sadly, when people online get into a comment war and they actually start throwing racial slurs around, they actually go unpunished a lot of the time. And you see this a lot with gamers or Facebook commenters or Instagram, where people will just start throwing out racial slurs. And the sad thing is that you don't know if they're just joking or if they're seriously hateful of this person. But where it really gets bad is where you get into the racial threats. The actual, I want to kill you because of this, or you need to die because of that about your skin or your nationality and nothing else. Now these racist threats that actually threaten somebody's life or their family's life, they come in all forms and they come from everybody. And this is something that liberals seem to not want to accept. They just want to accept that only white folks can be racist and that only a certain amount of people can be racist and that all the minorities are swept clean. Everything's fine. They can say almost whatever they want. They have the moral authority to basically get away with anything they say. For example, there's been a video from CNN resurfacing in social media lately of a group of white kids. And yes, I'm calling them kids because although they are legally men and women, they are acting like garbage, immature lowlives. So these horrible people decide to roll up in their trucks to a black family's birthday party that was being thrown for a little black boy. And they decide to start throwing racial slurs and racist remarks and insults and actually start threatening the families and brandishing firearms as they throw out these racial threats, these hateful threats. And a bunch of them went to jail. A bunch of them got thrown in prison, and good, awesome. I am happy. They are out of this society. They are not needed and they are not wanted here. But here's where things get twisted. Do you remember a few months ago when a group of black people decided to kidnap a white guy and on Facebook Live stream them gagging him, tying him up, throwing him in a corner, forcing him to drink toilet water, threatening him on live stream, saying, F white people, F white boys, I'm gonna shank this white boy, blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, okay. That's racism too. Have you actually seen this kidnapping footage? It's pretty darn disgusting. And it is racist to the max. Just like the CNN video of the white guys threatening the black people with guns is racist to the max. Yes, black people and other minorities, Mexicans, Asians, anybody else can be just as racist as white people. But that's not the way the left sees it. As a matter of fact, here's what happens when you Google the term, is it possible to be racist to a white person? A lot of leftist articles come up right away, not surprisingly, that talk about how white people should stop complaining about reverse racism and how racism against white people doesn't exist. Yes, it does! Racism, in its very definition, means prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. I don't know about you, but discrimination, antagonism, prejudice, it seems a lot like that's directed against the white guy that was kidnapped and the black guys threatening his life based on the fact that he was white. But here's another leftist argument. They say that black people can be prejudiced, but not racist. Okay, let's look at the definition of prejudice. It means injury or damage resulting from some judgment or action of another in disregard of one's rights. Huh, okay. That sounds pretty darn bad. That sounds really bad. You're acting like, well, prejudice, that's like a step below racism. Where are you getting that? Okay, you're disregarding someone's rights and just throwing down a judgment or an action of hostility on somebody based on what? Something you don't like about, well, in this case, about them having white skin? Is that, so that's better than racism? Really? I believe that we are all human beings and that we all must be held to the same exact set of rules as everybody else. No matter what anybody says about, well, what about 30 years ago? What about 100 years ago? What about those injustices, huh? Okay. I am only responsible for the actions that I take, and I understand that the people around me, my friends who are white, whatever, my family, they are only responsible for the actions that they take upon themselves, okay? And I know that my race has a history of being unjustly treated with racism and prejudice, but I am not going to run around and scream and shout about how I feel oppressed because of the history of my race. No, I am going to move forward, and if I see racism, I'm going to call it out, I'm going to fight against it, but other than that, I'm not going to start going up to innocent people who are not racist or white people who are not racist and start saying, hey, you better, I hate you because you're just naturally racist. And I hate you, but that doesn't make me racist. That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, this argument always drains me, and especially on a long work day like today. So guys, go ahead and like, subscribe below. Go ahead and comment if you disagree or agree. It's your freedom of speech, and I will never take that away from you. And I am on Facebook and on Instagram at American Pool Guy. This is the American Pool Guy, and I will talk to you guys later.